2020, something very interesting happened.
You must stay at home.
That meant one thing.
My boyfriend and his friends had a lot of time to work on their project cars.
At this point, I had nothing else to do, so I just got involved. And it turns out I really liked working on cars, so I got my own project car. And what does a girl with all the time in the world and a new hobby do? That's correct. Make silly videos on a new app called TikTok until one of those videos goes absolutely wild. Well, this silly video led to a thought. Maybe we could do something with this video thing. So thanks to all of you guys, I'm going to welcome you to my new unit. I'm actually indoors. I'm in an inside space and I'm speechless. You can probably already tell there's actually so much work that I have to do here first. So you know my channel is all about DIY, so obviously I thought I would be able to do this all by myself. And so I started with the roof, which actually looks really, really good, except for the bits I haven't filled in yet or the stuff that needs to be repaired. It does look good. And then I started to paint the walls, which if you look from this angle, it might actually look kind of decent, but I mean, actually take a look at how ugly this wall is that I painted.
Yeah, that isn't gonna cut it. But this isn't even the worst wall. Look at this one. So not to waste time, I changed plans and went on a shopping trip.
So now I have all the supplies I need to fix this mess.
We will be doing something called dot and dabbing. In simpler terms, that means we'll be gluing plasterboard, or as some of you call it, drywall, to the wall. But before we do that, I need to paint a layer of glue onto the wall to make sure that any dust is stuck to it and doesn't mix with the adhesive.
Let me test it. Oh, that's sticky.
Sticky icky.
So now that's all dry, I can mix up the adhesive and start sticking on these boards.
A bit more. Yeah, a bit more. All right.
That's enough, that's enough.
For now.
Whoa! How do you prevent that?
Go slower.
It would be a funny video if that happened.
Look at his neck. I love when
You attacked me.
It's safe to say that we have no clue what we're doing, but I guess that's the point of this channel. Most of the things I do are my first time doing them. We make plenty of mistakes and learn from them.
All right, so every builder out there that's watching this, I know this is wrong. It's a learning process for us, so not everyone's a pro on their first try, right?
Do you think next time do half a bag?
I reckon half a bag at a time, yeah.
Yeah, probably be better for your muscles.
Yeah.
Your muscles.
My back, mainly.
Your back, neck and crack.
Let's just hope that is mixed well enough, because if it isn't, our new walls will fall off. And we definitely don't want that. After Rob has marked out where the board is going to go, we're going around and putting dots and dabs of the adhesive before sticking the board onto the wall and using some bricks to slightly lift it off the ground and hopefully keep all them boards at an equal height.
Okay, so the first board is on and it looks okay. I'm still not 100% sure if this is the right way to do it or not, but gonna let it dry and basically see if the board falls off or it sticks to the wall basically. And instead of waiting, I'm gonna carry on with the other boards. So just in case one falls off, it should all fall off. Logic. But in case it sticks, then I'm ahead of myself. So let's go.
Yeah, it is a bit of a gamble, but this project is so big that we simply don't have the time to wait around. So we're taking the risk and hoping we have done it properly and the boards actually stick. And I think this time we hit the jackpot.
It's the next day, and the good thing is the boards are still on the wall, and we've actually had a couple of compliments saying the boards look professional, so I'm really happy with that. The main thing I was worried about is to come here today and all the boards just be on the floor. Then I would have actually given up. I would have actually given up, but look, they're on, and they're on pretty strong. But there's something I need to do before I carry on going upwards, and if you look to my left, you'll see a lot of wood. A lot of it, because yeah, I'm gonna be a builder today, guys.
And that's because my office space still hasn't got a roof. So my dad has come down to give us a hand and maybe even teach me a thing or two about carpentry.
Rather than trying to nail it straight, bang that.
Move your fingers.
Yeah. That's it. And get it now.
Okay, this is really interesting.
There you go.
Yes. That's it.
Right now, I'm not 100% sure what I'm building, but there's basically got to be 2 logs like this, right? It's going to go parallel to each other, and then these hangers are for wood to go across. But I should make more sense as we go along.
Got you an apprentice's hammer there, look.
Cheers, man. Thank you, Toad.
Why do you even have this?
While me and apprentice Rob carried on nailing on the hangers, my dad bolted on another piece of wood on the other wall so that the beams have something to be nailed to. He also set up a laser that you can see on the wall, and that is so that we put the hangers at the exact height we need them to be to make sure that our roof is straight. Then they can bolt on 2 pieces of wood as well as a couple of nails in the wall just to hold it at the height we need it without moving about. But the nail gun looked really cool, so I had to give it a go myself.
Push it into the wall.
I can shoot?
Yeah.
Oh. Imagine that to the forehead. That would hurt.
You like it, Rob?
Love it. Lovely. Different type of power tools. Like true builders, this is our paper. A piece of wood is what we've wrote numbers on. And you might be thinking, why are all the numbers different? Well, as you can see, we've got that hanger thing up here, which is where the piece of wood is going to go across to the other side. The main problem we have here is that the planks of wood going across are every single one is different sizes.
This means that one of our walls is bent. Not ideal, but to be honest, we could have guessed which wall that was just by looking at it. Unfortunately, as this unit had a wood joinery company in here before us, that means that there were forklifts in and out of here all the time. And I think the drivers were not the most skilled. It also doesn't help that the building is old, so all the blocks are very soft and brittle, which also is not ideal because we want to use this roof for storage. But as we're already building the roof, we are finishing it for now, and tomorrow we can address the strength issue.
Wow.
What's wrong?
It smells so good in here.
Oh, did I not tell you about my new Drift air freshener? Drift is a luxury air care brand that has products to freshen up your home with their home scent diffuser kit or your car with their beautiful air fresheners. Not only do the car air fresheners smell amazing, like the one I have, it's called Yacht Club, and every time I get into my car, it feels like I'm getting on a yacht somewhere tropical.
I actually feel like I'm in Monaco right now.
But they are also very sleek. Long gone are the days of hanging air fresheners on the indicator stalk. With Drift, in the starter kit, you get a nice metal clip that attaches to your sun visor, and using a magnet, the air freshener attaches nicely to it, which looks so much better than any other air freshener out there. The best part is that the Drift air fresheners are budget friendly, and even better, they have a subscription model called Scent of the Month, meaning every single month you get a new scent to keep things smelling fresh. And most importantly, keep your car smelling luxurious at all times. So make sure you head over to drift.co to get your car smelling fresh. And if you use my code Bianca or scan this QR code down here, you will save yourself 55% off the first month. So thank you, Drift, for sponsoring this video and keeping my car smelling fresh. But I've got to go get a very important delivery and get back to the unit, so let's go.
So yesterday we finished doing all the joists, and this is how it's looking. Come inside the office. Yeah, it's looking pretty cool, guys. We've done quite a bit yesterday. Today, my dad is starting with putting in the joints. What are they called?
Spaces.
Spaces.
Noggins.
He's putting in the spaces in between the joists. Basically, it's to make the roof really strong, which is super good because obviously we're going to be putting heavy stuff on the roof, and it's just going to make sure that it's safe to do that. Then the next thing my dad's doing is putting down the base for basically a stud wall. We didn't originally plan to do the stud wall, that's why we started off like this. But because of how pissed the wall is, we are now doing a stud wall. So yeah, we're changing the plan a bit. So he's going to put the base down for the stud wall. And to be honest, them two things is a one-man job. So we're not going to help him with anything just yet. Sorry, Dad.
Anyway.
It's all on you. So I want to do something quite fun over here. Obviously, I've been coming in the van with my dad the last couple of days because he needs all of his tools to build me an amazing roof. So since I've been coming with the van, I've started bringing some of my stuff here. I mean, you might as well. If you're bringing the van, you might as well start bringing the load in. And I've actually got stuff of my own in the unit, which is making it feel like home for me. And something special I have over here is, you can see already, 2 Halford boxes. This is like a unit must-have. But yeah, first I need to build it and set everything up, which is so exciting. Let's do it.
In all honesty, I don't think the fact that I'm in my own unit has actually set in yet, but putting together my own toolbox is starting to put into perspective how crazy this journey has been. Just 5 years ago, a project car was a fun idea of a time pass for me. But fast forward to now, and I'm putting together a massive toolbox that I only ever dreamed about having in my own workshop.
I actually feel like Christmas has come early. This is the best Christmas gift ever. I'm done working on the car now. Look how nice it is.
And I can't thank you all enough for the support so far, because without you all watching, none of this would have been possible. But we're only getting started, so make sure you subscribe to not miss any of it. Anyway, while I'm busy being excited about my toolbox, my dad has finished building the stud wall in the office already and is now screwing on the chipboard on top of the joist as the new roof. With that done, we are going back into the office for one of the final steps, the plasterboard. We are starting with the harder part, the ceiling. To get the boards up there, we first cut them to size, then we can get them into position and hold them using some props. And finally, screw them onto the joists. And with the ceiling done, we can move on to the wall, which is the same process, minus the props of course. But unfortunately, my dad has a job himself and he sacrificed his whole holiday to help me. So whilst he's still here, he is doing some last work on the ceiling of the unit itself and finishing up the office by hiding the joists with some of the leftover chipboard. And if you're watching this, thanks Dad. But as my dad has left, my friend Matt from Evo PD has arrived to sort out our horrific lighting situation.
It's still live, so I can't take it down.
Oh, that light still has electricity power in it, so you can't take it down yet. Otherwise you'll get electrocuted, right?
I say just chop it, see what happens.
For the concept.
Let me do it because I've got the longest hair, so it'll look the coolest.
So after turning off the power going to the light, Matt can remove the old light and finally install our brand new LED light.
Look at how much nicer already the smaller light looks. The big ones look like the lights you have at school. You know when you're just sitting in the assembly and you look up and you have these shit ass lights? It just looks depressing.
These lights definitely look a lot better, but the real question is, are they brighter? It's time to find out.
This is 2 lights. So bright. I'm literally so excited right now. Just compare it to the other unit there. The other unit looks like it's got candlelight. It looks like it's dimmed in a romantic way.
Those are the same lights that we had.
Just had. Like, this is making a huge difference, and it's just 2 lights. I don't know what 6 is going to look like. It's going to look really bright.
Yep, you heard that right. We are installing 6 of these lights. Things are about to get real bright in here. And also, while Matt is here, he is finishing up with the office by wiring in our spotlights, using a laser to keep them all nice and straight.
And the lights are finished. Look at how bright it is, guys. I can't believe it. Like, it looks so modern in here just because the lights, it's made such a big difference. It speaks for itself. Honestly, I don't have to say too much. It actually speaks for itself. And I'm just so excited to work on my cars in here. I feel like it's such a happier environment than going to my driveway when it's raining. I'm going to a really bright indoor unit that's warm.
I mean, even if you look to what's next door,
Yeah, exactly.
it looks like the lights are off. That's what we had in here.
We literally had that light in here. And also in the office, we have our spotlights in. If you go have a see, they're not pushed in properly yet because we still have to paint the roof. So we're having them dangling down for now. But yeah, we actually have light finally, and it looks damn pretty good.
But we're still quite far from finishing this unit. While I was gone, my dad came back for a day and managed to stud and board this whole wall. So that means we need to paint it now, as well as all the boards he replaced, some other spots we missed, and also some holes that were too small to replace a whole board for need to be filled.
And instead of doing painting, filling, I'm just gonna fill all the holes and then paint over them. I've got some poly filler, all purpose, easy to sand, won't shrink or crack. I'm gonna mix that up and fill some holes. I've never done that before.
That's usually my job, eh?
I think this is probably a great time to remind you guys, neither me or Robert have ever done any of this. Is the filler mixed right? I don't know. Is this the right stuff to fill the holes? I also don't know. Is any of this right? I really don't know. But what I do know is that we are trying our best and we are learning from the mistakes we make along the way. And there have been quite a few already, but that's part of the journey, right?
It's just not working. I think I'm gonna use more.
I think that hole might be too big.
That hole's humongous. I don't want to do another board. Let's just check it's not a skill issue. Okay, it might be a skill issue. Turns out it's a skill issue and I'm not good at filling holes because Robert just tried to fill that hole and done it first time. So I'm gonna jump on the camera. I'm not even gonna fight it. I just know that it's not my job. I know my place and it's not that. Look at that. You done it first time. How are you so good at it?
I'm Eastern European, that's why.
I've got builder in my blood.
Yes, Robert might be Eastern European, but I can tell you one thing. There is not an ounce of builder in this man's body. And you're gonna see why soon.
Fuck this up so badly.
But let's just keep reminding ourselves, we are not professionals and we are doing these things to learn, right? That first filler didn't last long, so to compromise, Robert is now mixing up a bucket of joint filler, which we got plenty of for taping and joining all the plasterboard. I guess if it can fill joints, it should be able to fill holes. Anyway, now that the whole ceiling is mostly repaired, I'm getting on with the last bits of painting, while Robert is starting his first attempt at tape and joining. Let's just say that painting is a lot easier to get right than anything to do with plastering. Guys, Robert's crashing out right now. I've just finished painting the roof and I'm safe to say the roof's actually completed and I'm really happy with the job. However, Robert's, he's not in a good frame of mind right now. You know this perfect wall he was filling? What's happened?
Fuck this up so badly. To be honest, there's someone that does drywall probably has already seen what I was doing and has completely lost their mind.
Laughing their heads off watching it.
Yep.
That's like a lot of things in this channel. The professionals are like, huh?
I've applied the joining filler too wide and too thick, and as you can see, I'm having to scrape it off because the sander can't deal with the edges. I've already made holes that will need to be repaired, and to be honest, I just feel like blowing the whole place up.
You've kind of made the job harder for yourself. Because if you'd done a thin layer, there would have been a thin layer to sand off, basically.
I mean, you would have just had to go over it slightly with the sanding paper, and that's it.
I filled in all the screws on the boards, and as you can see, they've sanded down perfectly. You can't even see them because they're that perfect. Because I've done a beautiful, beautiful thin layer. So the sand machine was like, yeah, perfect. However, on the other hand,
Oh my god, I can't even fuck.
okay guys, I think I'm gonna go lunch early because I think the only way to solve him right now is to feed him. Rob, let's go for lunch, have a break. But as always, yes, we do make mistakes, but what we don't do is give up. So we spent the whole day sanding every single joint by hand. And even though it was extremely painful, by the time Rob started adding the last bit of, let's call it the finishing filler, it was starting to feel like it was all worth it.
This M3 is not mine. Maybe I do have an M3, but this one is definitely not it. And you might notice behind me, something is different. We have a separation wall. So this unit behind me is actually my landlord's unit, and this unit in here used to be his storage place, which he decided to rent out to us. So now, finally, we actually have some privacy. There's a wall between our units, and there will be a roller shutter going in at the bottom, eventually. Also, more update. This wall is actually finished now. So I painted over the boards we put there, and it looks so seamless.
I'm not gonna lie, like just from on the camera, it just looks like nothing.
But we've decided not to go to the top with these boards. Basically, this whole wall is going to be racking, and I feel like it's going to waste time and resources if we board all the way to the top, because we're not going to see the rest of the wall anyway. And I really want this unit done so I can actually work on my cars. So I just need it done quick, and that wall is not getting any more attention.
If we're being honest, there's one main reason why we're not continuing with the boards.
Or another essential reason.
Basically, I thought I knew what I was doing. Turns out I don't. And turns out Laura is not a builder either. And I messed up. And let us show you how I messed up.
You know when you're a kid and you like have teeth and the teeth fall out because they're wobbly? Yeah, these are like wobbly teeth. I've had some professional knowledge. Apparently it could be because we painted this wall, and because we painted this wall first, it didn't allow the muck to stick properly. Or it could just be our shit skills of creating the muck mix.
It could also be that the PVA wasn't thick enough. And we mixed too much water with the PVA. So I did this morning
Do a very thick layer, almost more like 60% PVA and 40% water mix.
So basically with this wall, we are going to do one more layer of boarding just to cover this brick that's missing and just to cover a bit more of this bogey mess we have. And I think at the top, it'll just have a tiny bit showing, which you guys are not going to see on camera. And hopefully no one walks in and looks straight up and says, why have you not boarded to the top?
Yep.
Don't say that to us in the comments. So that's the plan with that, and Robert's going to crack on with that because I feel like you're more skilled than I am. And I don't want to double mess up.
Yeah, you say that, but I'm the one that's messed up the boards in the first place.
Listen, my priority is just to get this unit finished because you lot are wanting to see me build my cars, and I want to build my cars. My E30 needs so much attention, so I just need to be quick. I need to be quick with this unit.
So this is the final stretch. After this last bit of paint and boarding, we will finally be done with the walls. After painting the big stud wall that my dad built, and we managed to mess up, I'm leaving Rob to do the last bit of dot and dabbing. Whilst he's doing that, he is also making sure to put some more of the plasterboard adhesive behind the first set of boards, just to make sure they don't fall off. And in the meantime, I'm finishing the extremely painful job of painting the office and giving him a hand to line up the boards when they are going up. And after not that long, the dot and dabbing was done. And as we came back the next day, the boards were still on the wall. That means we did it correctly. I guess. Anyway, the last bit now is for Robert to try and redeem himself with his second ever attempt at tape and joining. It did start quite a bit better, but I think Rob should leave the plastering to the professionals.
Every time I think I'm close to the finish line, it does get extended. But I actually think I'm close to the finish line. If you look around me, I basically cleared the whole unit of all the bullshit that was in the way. There's a couple things that I hear that I actually need still, but all the other stuff is gone. I have to paint this separation wall, and I have to paint this wall, and then that should be the last of painting the walls.
Quick update to my tape and joining efforts. I tried a different method. I even tried a wet sponge kind of technique thing. To try.
You donut! You stupid donut!
To try and make it better, but in all honesty, it all still looks shit. So we're just gonna leave it as it is. So all that's left to do now is paint that wall, clean the floor, paint the floor, move in.
And then move in. Finally, get my cars here and start working on them, finally.
This whole project has been quite the one step forward, two steps back kind of thing. But to cut Robert some slack, the joins are not that visible, and we're getting quite close to being done. Now it's time to get on with one of the last things, the floor. We spent yesterday, all of it actually, sweeping, hoovering, hoovering, to try and get as much of the dust off the floor as possible, because this floor just brings up so much dust you wouldn't believe. There is obviously still some dust, but that's gonna happen until we paint it. So today's plan is that now most of the dust is lifted, we're going to be jet washing it and cleaning the floor with some driveway cleaner and some degreaser basically, so that the floor will be ready to apply paint, which is happening very soon. And you know what that means? When the paint is done, I'm going to be able to get in here and finally work on my cars. So it's literally at the finish line, and I just need that last motivation to get there. I'm using this leftover driveway cleaner to try to get rid of the bigger oil stains. This is a very important part of painting the floor, because if it's not clean, and especially if there are oil stains everywhere, the paint won't stick and it will just flake off. With the solution all over the stains, I can now scrub it into them using a stiff brush to try to agitate the stains, which should help try get rid of them. Now with that done, we are pouring a degreaser all over the floor, and again, trying to agitate it with a brush to get up as much of the old paint and solutions as possible.
The whole mopping process is done now, so it's time for the fun part, the jet wash. Woof. Woof.
I say the fun part, but this is actually pretty scary. I can't get too much water on the plasterboards, otherwise they'll get damaged. And to make it worse, look at how much dirt is coming up as I wash it. Like I said, if this floor isn't spotless, the paint will not stick. So unfortunately for the boys, I have to end their fun early and get them to start brushing all the dirt out as I jet wash from the very back of the unit all the way out to the shutter.
You know what? I actually knew this, but from jet washing it, it actually shows how bad this floor is in. Like the condition is so crap. Floor is absolutely horrendous. It looks like you know when you go to school and you put your gum under the table, and then when the teacher turns around the table, you see the amount of gum that's under it. This is what this floor looks like.
That is exactly why I'm painting the floor. My two other options were to do an epoxy coat or to lay down PVC tiles, which would have been the best option. But both of these would mean I would need to repair the floor and to level it out, which is not only very expensive, but it would take way too long. So paint it is. The paint kit we are using came with this primer, which should stop moisture coming up and help the paint stick, apparently.
I can smell it. It smells like melon.
Ugh.
What colour is it? I'm gonna guess.
Go on.
It's brown. It stinks. Is this a legit paint company or not? Because this
I hope
stinks,
so.
and it looks like they just filled the buckets up with oil. All right, well, let's give it a go.
But the color wasn't the most confusing part. The consistency was.
So, firstly, it's really thin. Sorry, my alarm system. My alarm.
Oh, sorry. My alarm.
I'm not an intruder. So firstly, the primer is super, super thin. It's like applying like water. The application is so much easier than I thought. So I'm really gassed right now because I think I want to be done in 20 minutes. Also, the primer not got any color. Like I thought it might be like a gray primer or something, but it's like it's making the floor look like it's wet. And I have stepped on it, and it's sticky. Look at how watery this is. Look at that.
Cut the edge.
So after Rob's professional painter advice, we are getting on with the work, starting by going around all the edges and cracks with brushes and then covering the whole floor using rollers. And just like that, it's all done.
So the primer is mostly dry except for one section which is still a bit damp, and it means I don't want to paint on top of it just in case the paint looks bad. So I'm going to avoid painting this section, as you can see here. Like it is not completely wet, like it's not like fully wet. It's not like a liquid.
It feels tacky to the touch, but it's not like soaking.
Also, because obviously it's a heavy traffic area, it's right by the shutter. We don't really
Want that area to be the one that's like peeling or whatever.
Exactly. So we're gonna do the flooring sections, avoid doing this middle section here and work around it. Yeah, then hopefully it needs just an extra day to dry, and tomorrow I can do the first coat on this midsection here. Color reveal right now. I can see it already, it looks good. Da, 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 da. Oh yes, that's looking good. That looks really good.
Roberto's gonna pour the paint. Don't spill. Oh, that looks good.
That's a nice
That looks like metal icing. This is pretty much the same process as the primer. We're going around the edges and all the cracks with brushes and then covering the rest of the floor with a roller, pressing it onto the floor to make sure the paint gets into every small crevice there is on the floor. And after 2 days, we came back to a delivery of some used racking we found on Marketplace. So before doing the second coat, Robert and Lee are setting it up. These are also pretty easy to set up, just very heavy, hence why I got these boys to get them up. All they are doing is standing up the grey uprights, and then the orange beams running across connect to them. The nice thing about these is that you can choose how high you want the shelves to be, as they are fully modular. That's why we have the first shelves so high up, and we only did this so we can store taller things like my welder and engines underneath. But with the frame built, it's time for me to take my newfound woodworking skills to the test by making these shelves. The boards I bought are slightly too big, so I'm marking them out to the correct size and Rob is cutting them down. And to stop them from sliding around, I am also screwing on 2 pieces of wood underneath the shelves perpendicularly to the orange beams that the shelves will rest on. And after making 6 of these, we can finally get them onto the racks and fill them up with our stuff. Also, shout out to Matt from Evo PD for lending us these quick jacks. They will be coming in very handy. So Rob's just doing the second coat around the unit and the first coat of the middle section. I've had a really chill day today. Not gonna lie. I've done jack shit all day. Mainly because I came in a clean outfit so I could get an Instagram pic. But the Instagram pic has just been taken all day to get, basically. So I'm still in my clean clothes that I don't want to get dirty. And I don't want to change like 3 times. So, yeah. I don't think I'm gonna do much today apart from get an Instagram picture. So after this coat, plus another we did on the middle bit, and some drying time later, we have finally moved in. The floor is finally finished and it looks so freaking good. I can't believe it. I also have my MX-5 in here now, and just look at it. The color just looks amazing. I built this. I'm very happy. Just also imagine it when I have this section here closed off fully. It's gonna look so good, so much better than I ever thought it could look. However, one slight issue with the floor, we've only had one car being worked on over here and driven my MX-5 in the unit, and I don't know if you can tell on camera, but the floor gets dirty so quick and it shows up so much. Like look, one car. And I hope it's not a problem a lot, but we have brought a mop, or I have brought a mop and a little sweeper, so hopefully it does the job, but it shows up the color, it shows up all the dirt. On the topic of the floor, you might have seen these squares. Well, they are for a very special delivery. It's lift day, I'm finally getting a lift. I can't believe it. From a driveway to this. That's right, I am finally getting my own 2-post lift, and it honestly doesn't feel real. But for it to be real, we need to install it first. And Right away, I ran into my first issue. The lift guys weren't happy with my markings because if I wanted to get a bigger car up on the lift, they thought it would be too tight to the wall. No problem, a bit of shuffling around and we came to a position everyone is happy with. But the biggest problem comes from the drilling.
So after about half an hour of drilling, this is my new lift. Yeah. I don't have my lift installed because the concrete is not thick enough. Instead, they've marked out a square here that I need to cut out 1 meter by 1 meter square and then refill with concrete. So
Yeah, also 1 meter deep as well.
and 1 meter deep, yeah. So that is not fun, and it's put a spanner in our works. However, we'll sort that out on another day because it can be fixed, just not today. And instead, let's appreciate that the unit is finally done. Like, my cars are in here now, and I can start working on cars now, which is super great. Not on a lift, but hey, I was used to working on the driveway with 4 jack stands, so this is still a really big, a huge upgrade actually. And to celebrate the new unit, I also want to reveal to you guys that I got a new car. A 46 M3, my first ever M car. That's pretty special, and that has made me more happy.
And what's even more special is that I'm no longer working on this driveway. I still can't believe it, to be honest. But anyways, make sure you subscribe to see what I get up to with the M3. And thank you, Drift, again for sponsoring this video. And make sure you guys go check them out with the link down below. Bye.
Ooh! Okay, that is so echoey. Ah, yeah! Oh, I'm actually indoors. I can make as much noise as I want, innit? What should I say?
Go on.
I don't know what to say now. Chips!
Is that the first thing that came to your mind?
Yeah, there's nothing much that goes on in there, honestly. Hello! That was actually jarring. That was jarring for me.